Hi guys, Graham from Penguin Motors here. So, what's this video about? It's not about the 2.2 TC engine that I'm leaning on. It's actually on the dyno test of the 3.5 V8 from the Scarab V8. If you watch the early videos, you'll know that this engine has got lightly ported 10-bolt cylinder heads, 270-degree camshaft from Newman, 10-to-1 compression. It's been the bores have been deglazed, honed, new set of rings on standard bores, and obviously the biggie up the top is we've got an Edelbrook 500 carburetor and a dual plane intake manifold, topped off with a electronic distributor from Real Steel. So, you ready, boys? Should we make some noise? Right guys, so here we are. Engine's on the dyno, and I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to prime the oil system with a drill. And I know one or two people out there that say you shouldn't do this. I don't really understand why, but there we go. There's a few that say you shouldn't. And everyone says, well, yeah, you need to pack the oil pump with Vaseline. Well, it's not got Vaseline in it. It's just got a bit of assembly lube, which is really sticky, and we'll do the same thing. Now a lot of people will go, well, pressure doesn't come up very quickly. Well, like now, we've got a brand new bone dry engine, just the assembly lube in it. We've got we've got a dry filter, so there's no oil anywhere in the internals, so it's going to take a little while to come up. But let's just run a drill and see. Now, you may or may not be able to see the oil pressure display on the monitor there, which is basically middle bottom. Sorry about all the cables in the way, but when I rejigged the dyno to run your dyno operating system, I chose to run the cables up and over rather than down and along the floor, so I haven't got to keep stepping over a wooden box. So yeah, I'm afraid they've made it much easier for me to walk around the dyno, but get more in your way. But here you go. Let's we've got a charged battery. Let's hit the drill and just see how long it takes to bring us some oil pressure. Simply just run out of battery. Just as the oil pressure started to climb, and I can hear oil pressure in the engine. I thought I had a charged battery, but perhaps I didn't. Right guys, I've just zoomed you in on a couple of the rocker assemblies, and I don't think you can see, it's oil coming out there, and there's dribble going down there. A lot of you expect to see a lot of oil gushing around. You don't, you won't. I'll just spin the drill up a little bit, and you might see it burbling out. I don't know if you saw it, but I just saw a drip there. So there we go. There's oil. You don't see loads of it gushing out. If you've got loads of it gushing out, someone's probably put the rocker shafts together upside down. So, what was going on there? That didn't run very well, did it? Certainly not for a first fire up. They're always a little bit lumpy, and the tappets take a while to settle down, but yeah, that was horrible. And the reason it was horrible, basically the intake manifold didn't seal. It looked good, it looked right, but yeah, the combination of the 10-bolt heads and the 10 head gaskets means the manifold just didn't seal in a few places. So I ended up taking the manifold off, sticking it in the milling machine and milling both manifold faces to make it sit deeper in the V. After that, the manifold sealed, and yeah, it would start and idle nicely. Right guys, here we are. Engine's back in the hole. And I just thought I'd bring your attention to the throttle linkage for a minute. Now, P5 Rover and SD1 use a cable throttle. P6 uses a rod and a linkage, which is difficult to connect. But this here throttle linkage here is actually part of a Webcon kit to work a kickdown cable. And in fact, on a P6, it works out really well. To use it, we take the original P6 throttle link, which we fit to the Webcom linkage. The diameter is correct for that bush there. Here, we need to turn up an internal bush to make that rod the internal size of that. And we made a little collar with a stop. Stop the whole lot backing out that way. But that works really, really well. If I take you up the other end, there's a bell crank there that actually goes on the throttle itself. And here we are from the other end. Linkage, bell crank, and that works the P6 throttle. Right guys, here we are. Early one morning, nice and damp. Although the sun's trying to break out, so that's nice. So yeah, so here we are, almost back where we started. Engine's now back in, it's had its refresh. We've got our mild cam, head modifications and 4-barrel carb. That's certainly livened it up no end. We're now 200 horsepower and something like 224 pound-foot of torque. So it shifts along very nicely. It's not uber grunty, but then it can't be because it's a 3.5. If you wanted a lot more torque, you've got to make the engine bigger. The Americans said there's no substitute for cubic inches, and if you want torque, they're pretty much correct. So here we are, all ready to go.